meeting here at it's about 10:01. We're going to get started. I've asked the Sheriff's Department to do a couple of things today. Number one, they're going to present the colors a quadrennium for us, the last meeting of our 4-year terms here for this cycle. So I will ask for the colors to be presented, and then please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
Let us pray. Dear Father, we thank you for the privilege of gathering today. Our county commissioners who have been entrusted with the responsibility of guiding and serving the community. Lord, we ask you for divine wisdom to rest upon each commissioner's compassion and integrity. Today, we especially pray for Commissioner Jeb Ball as he is sworn in as chairman. Father, I ask you to strengthen him for the task ahead. Spirit. May he lead with grace, wisdom, and a deep commitment to the well-being of Baldwin County and its people. Surround him and our commissioners, Father, with unity, progress, and desire to serve rather than being served. We entrust this commission to your care and ask your hand to be upon every meeting, every plan.
All right, y'all can have a seat. Oh, if I miss a couple of them, just let me know. But I see our State Senator Chris Elliott here, and our Sheriff Anthony Lowry. And is there any more elected officials? So we're going to start off today by our adoption of the minutes, and I
motion we adopt the minutes from October 21st, 2025 regular meeting.
And I'll second it.
We have a motion by Commissioner Gruber and a second by Commissioner Underwood to adopt the October 21st, 2025. Let's say an aye. Aye. All opposed? All right. Next, I don't even know who's finance chairman. Commissioner Gruber. Yep. Commissioner Gruber.
Second it.
All right, so we have a motion to pay the bills and a second by Commissioner Underwood. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Interim payments allowed by policy number 8.1.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second by Commissioner McKenzie for item BA2 is the ratification. Carries. Commissioners, next before us is our consent agenda with what we discussed in the work session. Remember,
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as discussed, and with the addition of GA1 and GA2 and the deletion of CO9.
Second.
Second by Commissioner McKenzie to adopt our consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Our motion carries. Waiting for our presentation portion today. Is that right? Am I on track? Okay. I thought I heard somebody say something. I always. And so wanted to invite to the podium our sheriff, and he's going to talk a little bit about what we're here for today.
We want to bring before you, in the first one, I would ask Deputy Hughes and Canine Artemis to come forward. Artemis, a.k.a. Artie before. Actually, you met her just a couple days after she had been on the street.
Right.
I will The 28th, the sheriff's office received a call of a missing 6-year-old, and the 6-year-old was autistic and nonverbal as she had gone missing on Old Robinson Road. Individuals, particularly individuals in needs, whether it be Alzheimer's patients or autistic kids such as this. And this was, as everything happens in the sheriff's office, with our patrol division, went to Old Robinson Road, and Deputy Hughes was able to put Artemis down, and she began a track that led Deputy through the woods. So with that, I want to say that we're exceptionally proud of both Deputy Hughes and Canine Deputy Artie. And I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Deputy Hughes and our dog, Artie. For us to get a picture with y'all. I don't know if she'll still let me move. I think we tried to try to get her out of here that last time, so let's try it. Commissioner, y'all want to get a picture made with the dog and Deputy Hughes? Rough house. Read off all the list of the people that were involved in this, as well as some additions, and then you can proceed with that presentation as well.
Okay, I will. We're fortunate in Baldwin County. This does not happen often, and I'm very proud of that. But I tell everybody, you know, anytime I speak, anything that happens anywhere, 22nd of this year, we had a 3-year-old child that was abducted and taken from her home in Orange Beach, Alabama. The investigation essentially with her estranged mother and flown ultimately to San Diego, California, where she was smuggled across the border into Mexico, a true international kidnapping. Of the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, along with our federal partners, who I'll speak to in a minute, we were able to locate that child, or the potential of that child being in a house outside of Mexico City, to complete a raid on that house, and in fact found the child with her mother and was able to take the mother into custody, and the child was taken into the care of the Mexican government. And a problem it would be to get this child returned, this U.S. citizen returned to the United States. And that's really where we had to. But I can say that on 9/28, the mother was returned to the United States, and she's in federal custody. And then through the actions of many of these people, in addition to, we were able to get that child returned to the United States and then to her dad on October 4th. A true success story in a case where I think every veteran law enforcement officer had a real reason to believe. I will mention obviously the Sheriff's Office in the past few years, we've been very intentional with what we've done with our digital forensics investigators, our digital investigators. Things that you've helped us get, it led us to be able to do those things. We built towards that moment. We continue to build, but I'm really proud of those guys. You have here today, I've seen Marshall Sloak here, most of the agencies here that participating in getting this child back. It was truly a team effort. We have HSI and Orange Beach Police, FBI key in this, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Sheriff's Office, Katie Britt and Barry Moore, they were heavily involved because they had to get the U.S. Department of State arrested and them motivated. And some of that was on a Sunday morning. As I told you, everything happens on Sunday morning. And getting response out of the State Department is I want to get into the details. We still have a prosecution ahead of us with the mother, and we hope to move forward with that.
Yes, sir. I just was going to recognize some of the names. There's of course, your name is on here, and then we got Lieutenant Curtis Summerlin with the Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Richard Gingras with the Sheriff's Office, with the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office, Deputy Luke Cowan, and Intel Analysis, Marcy Webster, all with our Sheriff's Office and Homeland Security. Kent here? All right, there's Kent. We got Special Agent Evan McKinney here. And then we got U.S. Marshal Don Kim was here. Yep, Mark Sloak is here. And we have anybody from the U.S. Attorney's Office, Casey Heisen. So sorry about that. I haven't. Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal Soren Carney. There we go. And then we got our FBI agent, Michael Burton. All right. And a special agent in charge, Sarah Jones. Yes, ma'am. Then we've got special agent in charge, Rick Gaskins. FBI supervisor, Parker Steele. Orange Beach Police Officer, Lisa Augustine. Lisa, thank you for coming. Orange Beach Police Officer Christopher Dimmers. Thank you, sir. Is there a representative here from Barry Moore's office? Thank you for coming. And we also have a representative from Katie Britt's office with us. Thank you so much for being here. And we've got our Senator Chris Elliott with us today, who was instrumental in this case as well. So I wanted to give these guys and the Sheriff's Office a huge round of applause for doing something very monumental and good for this county, and should make us very proud to be who we are. So thank you. That's what we call an example of true partnership. And Sheriff, do you have anything else to add?
Well, Mr. Chairman, those partnerships didn't happen on September the 22nd when that kidnapping happened. It's happened over the past 5, 10, 15 years of building working relationships with each other's motivations were, right, or who we were. All those things were already behind us. And I will say that is unique. My federal partners probably will agree with me. That is unique in the beyond that. And it takes, again, that's a very intentional thing to cultivate these relationships. So I'm very proud as Sheriff to know that we have that here in Baldwin County.
I also worked coordinated, but Tammy Ryder worked tirelessly on this, putting this together. So I just wanted to get all these people together. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but it turned out. So thank you. Commission, do y'all want to say anything about either one of these cases?
For the K-9 officer, Deputy Hughes, I think it is, thank you for what you do every day out there being a law enforcement officer. Put your life in danger every day for all of y'all, and y'all know that. The federal partners involved, thank y'all for working together. It's a blessing to see all of y'all work together and do this. You know, as being a retired state trooper, I see it. I see it every day. My career, and I'm proud of what y'all do every day. So thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. As the story with the dog, and what would have happened if it not found that child. And thank you, Deputy Hughes, for being the handler and being the one that does that. And I've got a little bit of the dog with me right now. I always say I am proud to be a Baldwin County, and I feel safe in Baldwin County, and it's because of all you people from our state people. You guys make this what it really is, one of the best places on earth to live. And it is because of your sacrifice to your families that do want to do this. And I thank you, Sheriff, and everybody here that had a part in this. You guys are fantastic, and I appreciate you. There is very little, it's probably something going to be said on the next presentation when we get to with Mayor Wills, but people put you down, people do all these kind of things, but there are those of us here that know what those sacrifices are like. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate the rescue of this child, because Lord knows what would have happened had she not been rescued. Thank you.
Commissioner Gruber?
Yes, thank you, Deputy Hughes. What you did, because if you hadn't been there, there's no telling what that family would be going through today. So that made a big difference that it affected. And also, thank you, Sheriff, and your team that you've built, and all the years that camaraderie with the Sheriff's Department and the U.S. Marshals, the FBI, and all of our partners that we have. Baldwin County, what people come here for. They want to be here in Baldwin County because they feel safe and they know that, if something happens, very important for our citizens to understand that. And so, again, thank you so very much, and thank you for everyone that helped with that child, today. So, thank you very much.
Y'all got anything else? So, yeah, I'm sitting over here trying to keep it together because flags walked in. There was some kind of sense of just joy and pride seeing that happen. I had chills on me. And then the prayer by Pastor Jim with the Sheriff's Office chaplain. Together, and everybody worked together. I mean, you talking about being an honor to be a part of something. We're a small part. You always say that, you give us credit sometimes. I'm just saying we're a small part of. I didn't go to Mexico and bring a child back. So, the honor I feel right now to be a Baldwin Countyan and to be part of this county, I can't even describe how proud I am of this group department that we have, and how y'all have built the working relationships with everybody in here to be able to, like you said, pick up the phone and make a phone call. It's good news stories, but this is what it looks like. And like we've said before, we're a model program across the United States of America. People always want to know how we. I'm super proud of everybody involved in this, and I'll leave that microphone open if there's anybody that wants to say anything else about this. Senator, do you want to say anything?
It's a dangerous thing. It's good to be back in here. Mr. Gruber, I appreciate you not moving the coffee pot, so I knew where it was. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I just want to encourage more. Our law enforcement team works really well together. You can see them all here. They know each other. They from state, local, our sheriff's office and our federal partners. But when we hit a roadblock, it was time to call the cavalry, and that was y'all. It was time to get the Secretary of State and the State Department involved. Senator Britt and Congressman Moore worked so well together, and to be able to pick up the phone and let them know what we had going on personally, and to be able to reach out to them personally, and to see the results when we hit a roadblock and see that roadblock dissolve, cool to watch. And so they played an instrumental part after this young lady was found in actually getting her home, and that was so key. And so please take back how much we appreciate her being home and y'all removing the roadblocks that were in the way to get her home. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. To get a picture with everybody, but I don't know if that's appropriate with all the important people in here. So, I mean, would any of y'all have a problem with our photographer? Is that okay?
They're on TV now anyway.
Yeah. So Taylor, just come up here and just kind of get like get a panoramic view if you can, however y'all want. Yeah. You'll learn where you not want to ever be. Come on up.
I'm gonna follow your lead.
We don't bite.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much.
Applause for these guys. All right, thank y'all. Next up, I've got more of these on November the 18th in our Fairhope meeting if y'all want to come and attend and watch that. But this is going to be in recognition of Mayor Robert A. Wills for we have a little token of appreciation for all your years of service. If you want to say something.
You touched that picture up well. I thank you for that. Thank you. It's been a privilege for me to serve as mayor for the past 13 years. Sometimes privilege, but it's been an honor for me to do that and to serve in other capacities in this county. I was the county attorney. I had to look at my. I've sat in your chair before, but there used to be 7 commissioners back then as opposed to 4, so it was even more hair and scaring. Anyway, again, and appreciate the job, Chairman and Commissioners, that you all are doing, and of course, I don't need to add to what's already been said about the cooperation between the police. Al Talbert, stand up where the glare of that light won't be in your head so bad, Al. Y'all probably all know Al. He served with Bay Minette PD many years ago. Then he was with the Sheriff's Department for a long time, and we were happy to get him back as our chief about 7 or 8 years ago. And I'll try to make this short. We were interviewing. We set up a committee to interview, and Major Arthur was one of the committee members, and my longtime friend Larry Milstead and others. And we had some really good candidates. Montgomery, I swear he had a resume that long. I thought, we're probably going to hire this guy. And then Al was one of the candidates. He was the last guy we interviewed, and he knocked it out of the park. Thank you.
You look taller. Always looking next to
All right, 1, 2, 3.
I talk about it, I'm just going to tell you. We're going to get some love too.
That's right. Used to that.
Lord have mercy. Matt, how you doing that thing up here? All right. Appreciate appreciate it, man.
I warned you, he was coming. I don't see him though. Yeah, I do. I see him.
Commissioners, we're still in session on this one presentation. Did y'all want to leave Mayor Wills with any parting comments? He's already gone, but he'll get to see it.
I do.
Okay.
I was going to stop him, but I figured he already had the momentum to get out of here.
He had to go do that.
So I know this. I just think anybody who puts themselves out there for public service, there is such little appreciation from the general public for what it truly takes, the tolls that it takes on yourself. I often say this to people in one-on-one conversation. This is the best of the rest of all of our lives. When you were younger, but once you get to this point, it doesn't get better because you get older and things happen and stuff like that. And I just have witnessed a lot of people who, competition is democracy, and my hat's off to anybody who wants to put themselves out there and run for public service office. And when you're in that situation, you will never please everyone. If you did, I said this to a few staff members earlier. One of my favorite sayings, I like peanuts. Snoopy, Charlie Brown, and Sally Brown, his sister, told Charlie Brown, wishy-washy. You can't be wishy-washy and do a good job. And so that's when you're going to make people not like you, or you're going to make somebody happy, you're going to make somebody mad. And at night, live with what you've done and have a good set of core values and belief system. Somebody told me when I ran for office, they said, don't change who you are. And I hope since Bob Wills is not here, I can't keep talking to him. So Matt always tells me I talk a lot, but accountants talk a lot too, I guess. But anyways, but thank y'all that are still here of showing their appreciation to people, whether you like them or not. We're actually instructed by the good book to pray for those who are in charge. So thank you.
The former mayor, just want to say thank you for his dedication to Bay Minette and the citizens of Bay Minette. And I just want to say, proud of him. Hope, but I don't know. I didn't ask him, but I just want to wish him the best. And I'm just thankful, we're friends.
Absolutely.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just say, Mayor Wills, I worked with him several times on a lot of different other things, and I can remember back when he was the attorney, and also he's helped us on a lot of other projects that we have some great success with now. He was one of the ones that was working on went through a lot of different changes within government over the years, and that means that the people do trust you. So again, thank him for all his service and wish him the best of whatever his.
Here, Mayor Wills was very instrumental in my childhood life as being my next door neighbor and raising me from a child all the way up to where I'm at now. We've maintained a friendship before he was mayor, while he was mayor. Embracing all the new change and welcome the new mayor aboard, just as well as we have Ruthie in here today. So we have a lot of new mayor changes, and we're getting around and meeting them, and with the commission and partnerships with our towns and municipalities is very important to have, and we look to building those relationships with the new mayors. So thank you to Chief Talbert. So I want to just remember next week we'll be doing this again for 3 other mayors, and not next week, November 18th and leave y'all with a pop quiz so you can figure out the answer. I don't know what you're going to win. I'll have to figure that out. Probably a piece of candy or something. But there's going to be 2 mayors with a combined years of 66 years, both combined serving as. And come back with your answer on November 18th when we're gathered again in Fairhope to celebrate those 3. So
You can give them a challenge coin.
a challenge coin. That's what I got to give you a challenge coin. Yeah. You can't play. You can't play.
That's right.
So anyway, that's it's always good to, I just wanted to start off this first meeting of my chairmanship today just with some that bring light into this building that in such dark times that we've been experiencing in our country. And I think we felt a sense of pride here today. I just wanted to end with that, and then we will move right along. We have no public hearings today. I think our highway department does have a presentation that they want to present for these guys have come up with, and I'll let our engineer Frank Lundy introduce this.
All right, good morning, Commissioner. And collaboration that happens here in Baldwin County, and that's with, as you've seen all morning, with law enforcement to our state and federal representatives and senators. That also continues into our transportation and infrastructure areas. Everything we do in Baldwin County, every department in Baldwin County, it's about collaboration. So I'm here to give another shining example of these partnerships, these type partnerships. So item FO1 in your packet is a 30 cubed and taking advantage of this fine program that the commission launched earlier this year. So this time we have the city of Robertsdale that stepped up with a fantastic project. Invite Mayor Campbell up to say a few words and then take a vote. So the location of this project is at State Route 104 and Palmer Street in west of the Regions building at the intersection of 104 and 59 if you're traveling towards Silver Hill. And Palmer Street is becoming. So if you are familiar with where I'm referring to there's a straight shot from the city of Robertsdale all the way to Bon Secours. That segment of roadway is a very aggressive plan to extend that road to connect all the segments that don't currently exist, and it would be a direct that would run parallel with 59 and greatly assist and aid in relieving congestion throughout the county. So Robertsdale was very much, but we would love to partner with the county and let's do some improvements to this particular intersection. It's backed up. Anybody that travels through there knows what I'm talking about, and it's not just today. So with a little bit of foresight here with adding turn lanes to every leg of this intersection, partnering with the city, and then we've come up with a very good idea that will solve that problem. There will also be pedestrian facilities factored into this it makes a much safer connection there. There is a trail that Robertsdale has invested in over the years heavily in different phases along Palmer Street. What you see in the upper left corner of the map that's on the screen, that's the PZK Hall. There's a lot of city functions and other community functions that take annex. That's where the county commission facilities take place. We have, and that's really a bustling area of Robertsdale. So, problem. So with that, Mayor Campbell.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
For sure. This area was of big interest to our city and had been for a while. And when this program came about and when it was brought to by the county to our city, it was more more about it, just you know, the opportunity that Robertsville will have now for our citizens on that road and everybody else that comes on 104. It's just with the different items on agenda of our partnerships. And coming in as mayor after an 8-term mayor that had a great partnership for the city with the county already, I am thrilled to know that I already had that relationship with y'all as well because of that and because of the partnerships that were already created, and to come to be a part of Baldwin County and to have you with us by our side. Thank you so much. We look forward to it. Please vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Go ahead, Skip. You
No, go ahead, you got it.
Y'all work it out amongst
and I'll
yourselves.
do the second. She made the motion.
I got the motion.
You can do your third over there. So we got a motion and a second. We got a motion by Commissioner Underwood, a second by Commissioner McKenzie to approve item.
I would like to make some comments. It can be after the vote if you like.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Okay.
All right.
This is a wonderful project for this area. This area where Walmart is on the south, people turn off of 59 and they cut through all the time going to work at Central Annex, going to work at some of your city facilities. Central has definitely become a cut-through route as well. And it's so amazing when you take people in and show there behind St. Patrick's Church. That's 65, AKA Palmer, inside the city limits. And if you draw that straight line, it goes all the way to County Road 10. And the traffic signal there and adding the turn lanes will help make it safer. And I noticed there's going to be an abandonment of that drive entrance right there going into, that is so dangerous. North, and people just stop in the middle of the road wanting to turn into the bank, which, I mean, the bank was there. Their phone number is 947-1981, so I know it moved here. But anyhow, it's a great partnership. When Ruthie was running for mayor, and she was already a council member elected since 2018, but that falls within my area, and we serve countywide, but you really stay kind of hands-on with the people in your district. And I don't know that we've ever had a hiccup with Robertsdale. Robertsdale's always been, since I've been in this role, I don't know about way back when, but and I know moving forward, it'll be a very easy transition because Mayor Murphy has done a good job. Your smile is contagious. Thank you.
Do you mind, Mr. Chairman, if I say a little?
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you to the cities that's partnered with the county. Thank you, Mayor, on this, but I want to thank him and his team and everybody, that staff that came up with this program. Yes, the county commission approved it, but y'all are the backbone of this, and I'm really proud of it. Want to know what we're doing to help the city, so this is what we're doing to help the city. So thank you.
I just want to thank everyone for this project. This is one that's 65 all the way from Montsevier to Robertsdale on one straight shot. And it's going to take a few years to get it done. A lot of traffic off of Highway 59, and maybe that's a local route, more or less what the locals can use. But, you know, that's some of the things that, for many years, trying to make connectivity and also doing other projects as well, because it all boils transportation better for everyone. So, Frank, Roger, I know you have a lot to do with the 30 Cube as well. So I want to thank y'all for fund this, because this is an important project. This is what, the 6th one now we have? And we still got some more coming. It got contagious. And I think some of the municipalities will probably want to come back and have another round at it.
That's right.
That's right.
Because, it's a good.
I think the worst part about being chairman is having to speak last. Yeah, so I mean, that's, they already said everything. So the only thing that's what I was going to discuss.
February, we introduced it.
But it wasn't May, though, the first one?
May.
I can't remember.
6 months, 7 months?
The first project launched in May, so
Yeah, it
we're
was
about
May.
6 months in.
Yeah, so project, to tell you the truth. So here we are with 6 projects, and for those that don't know what we're talking about, this is a project where I'll let projects, because there's new people in the room, just do like that 10-second view of what a 30 cube is.
Yeah, so, for any question marks that may be in the minds here, what do you, to be matched voluntarily with $30 million from the municipalities throughout the county. All 14 have the opportunity, and you can come back to the pot if you would like, but $30 million by 2030. We want these projects, we're managing them locally, we want them under construction or completed by 2030. And so 30, 30, 30, it's 30 cube, so 30, 30, 30.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
All right. So next, we're down to our public comments. Make some comments today. And if you're here and have signed up to speak, there's just a few guidelines. The first thing is by yourself. That's a 3-minute conversation. If you're representing the whole entire group, that's a, 5 minutes?
Yes.
Conversation. Where you live in Baldwin County. Just stay on your topic, whatever it is, and then focus your comments on it, whatever you're discussing, without straying off, using foul language and stuff like that. It says avoid outbursts, loud gestures. This is kind of like a little thing we gotta say. So, and be factual with your comments as well, and be concise and stick to the time. I know it's 3 minutes isn't a long time, but we do have to have some balance in order. So 3 minutes per individual or 5 minutes for a group. I've got, I think we're gonna let the Sons of American Revolution come up first. Who's ever representing that group, come on up front.
I'm Dan Armstrong. I live on Soldier Creek, and I'm here on behalf of the General Galvez chapter. I provided your administrative assistant a copy of a letter that I sent to the America 250 Alabama Commission requesting signage be placed on the interstate of the village in Fort Charlotte and Mobile. Currently, there is none. The only markers we have in Baldwin County is on the Bluff in Spanish Fort, which is closed to the public state for other sites. And we just ask that you endorse our proposal, and if you do, communicate it to the America 250 Alabama Commission. And
Yes, sir, we can help coordinate, and if the commission needs to vote on a support letter or something of that nature, we can work those details out.
Interstate, yes, sir.
State and federal, it's an interstate highway, and it's amazing that the people in this county, plus the whole nation, don't know what took place here. And General Galvez, from the British and was a big part of the war. And the battle at the village in Spanish Fort was extremely hazardous. Been at Bunker Hill, and he described the action at the village as being more vicious than at Bunker Hill. So it's something that needs to be recognized.
Yes, sir. And we used to have a year, he would give us some update on something like that. So I remember what you said just based on what he said. So we do recognize our history in this county, especially being one of the most.
At David's Catfish House in Spanish Fort, and anybody's welcome to attend.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I would like to say that, I think you said just a brown sign. Maybe you could.
I can hear you.
Maybe just a brown sign. Maybe you could make it say something about,
I would assume
250
they do
celebration.
something similar to what's on the interstates now, like at American Village or State Park, whatever.
250, like put here in celebration of 250 in honor of whatever. But just, I'm not a creative person, but I can recognize creativity. And my eyeballs look more at things that pop at you a little bit more than the brown and white.
Just whatever we can get approved through the highway.
Well, that's not with us, but I'm just giving, I'll be happy to.
We'll get something, we'll get our highway engineer involved and we'll start. Thank you.
I've got one question.
Yes.
I've got one question real quick. The funding, is it possible to get any of that funding from the 200?
I think we're just asked to do a support letter.
Yeah, for right now.
This is not us doing the sign.
So what the question that was asked is, does y'all's group have the funding for the signs?
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you have the funding for the signs?
No.
Request, Frank, that we need to search the funds through that.
I'm sure that the American 250 Commission has funds, but this meets all of it.
That's right.
We're just looking at everything on this. So, thanks, Frank. All right. So next up is Fuson. Okay, James Fuson. Okay, if you don't mind, just state your name.
My name is James Fuson. I'm a resident of Alberta, but I gotta pull it up.
Hey, Brian, stop the clock for me.
Yeah, give me one
Hang on
moment.
just one second. I'm gonna get up and then we're gonna reset the clock for you.
Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
My name is James Fuson. I reside in the beautiful Baldwin Department of Human Resources, Child Welfare Division. On August the 20th, 2024, my daughter, Billiana Fuson, was taken into custody by Baldwin County Department of Human Resources, Child Welfare, from the opposite parents' actions. When Baldwin County Child Welfare Division contacted me less than 4 hours after they picked my daughter, I was told that my daughter was already in custody and was never given an opportunity to divorce. Already placed her with a licensed foster care family before my 72-hour hearing, which violates my due process rights under the Constitution of the United States. I am here to address you because fundings from the Title IV, D, and E funding when a child is placed in foster versus placing a child in relative placements. The facts upon this issue I am addressing, not seeking out proper relative placement by allowing parents to voice their opinion where the children should go and reside while the state does their lengthy investigations. I am in by no means a lawyer of research and advocating for my little girl. I am asking you as a father, a believer, and a citizen of our great state of Alabama to please reach out to me to address the situations that I'm bringing forth to you.
Just the only thing that I want to say is thank you for reaching out to me.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate that. And my heart's with you.
Yes, sir.
And I hope the best for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Ladies. I'm an attorney. I've been practicing law for 35 years. Live in Spanish Fort as well, just up the road from my office. So I represent a lot of people like James Fuson. So, and I represent a bunch of people, so can I get 5 instead of 3? Anyway, in addition to being a lawyer, I'm a minister. So I got to say, I was heartened to see the beginning of this. It's been a while since I've been to a order, God first, then country, all of which was heartening to me. You know, I've been a minister for 24 years, been a lawyer for 35. So I represent a lot of these people. Can be a lawyer and a minister only through God. That's how. So I know it seems unlikely. But nonetheless, in representing a lot of these people, you have about, and so the thing is, for all of you, you guys did not create the perverse incentives that are in federal funding. You didn't create that. What I'm talking about is under Title IV C and D, under Title IV funding, the funding that you guys get through DHR, that funding dollars per kid. And so that creates a perverse incentive. In other words, it gives them an incentive to snatch a kid when otherwise you wouldn't. So that may seem unlikely to you, but think, you know, well, how about kids and what numbers of kids, boys and girls, would be snatched by DHR if there's abuse, neglect, drugs, alcohol, or crazy? Those are the 5 things: drugs, alcohol, snatch. So you would say, I assume it's going to be 50-50, right, between male and female, but that's not the preference for adoption. So what happens with DHR is 2/3 of the kids are being snatched not for good or valid reasons. The other thing that I ought to tell you, that they're being snatched for not good and valid reasons, is that I don't have a 0% winning more than 85% of my cases. How can that be? If DHR is right, my winning percentage should be 0. Just this week, Monday, my office was responsible for 9 kids being returned to their moms and their dads, which, you know, when I see you guys celebrating, you know, earlier over this kid, I get that, because when they're moms and dads, you know, I'm going to guess that all of you have kids. I do. And if somebody took my little girl, I'd be in some kids. They love them. They care about them. They desperately want their kid back. And so, yeah, I'll fight for them, and I do, and just to make you guys feel better, but I bring it against individual DHR employees. I'm not suing the county. Love the county. I enjoy living here. But to the degree that you guys can have a positive impact on what's going on between the different agencies and different, you know, politicians and stuff like that. And I know, because I just spoke to a congresswoman yesterday who introduced a bill in Congress. Some movement in Congress. I know in the state legislature, there's been some movement to do that, and some of that has been rebuffed, I think, for bad reasons. She got 350 kids that are controlled by DHR right now. You know, these are your kids in Baldwin County that you guys care about. And so horror story after horror story after horror story. If you want to do that, you can feel free to call me. I got an office number that's easy to find, and I'm be kids. My kids matter.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank
you. I need to get it set up to stay on for 5 minutes. Next up is Melissa Hera. Good morning.
I had actually prepared a document for each of you guys to review, if I can hand them to you.
Sure. Okay.
And I would like to ask if I may have permission to have 5 minutes. I work as a family advocate, so I represent multiple families.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to, this is our attorney.
Yeah, I'll give you mine.
Give him that, because this says how counties profit while families suffer. The lawyer talked about how we could help, but this right now is not a county issue.
That is just a general reference document for everyone to look at. County is reflected by money that is moved from Title IV-E into the general fund.
Okay.
I don't go into our general fund. No, not the county. We don't get.
No, we don't.
We don't get.
County gets.
Our administrator can answer that question.
We don't get any money.
I mean, this happens all the time. The what do you want to say? It's very disjointed. And just because you see the word county in an agency does not make that part of the county commission. Other than that we rent a building to them and built a building for them, sort of, and they pay us for that building, we have very little interaction with the...
Is that a fair statement to the attorney?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to James, and what I said earlier, when he reached out to me, I did reach out to the DHR director, but that was because you're...
Okay, so we'll start your clock at 5 minutes.
Okay, so my name is Melissa Hara. I am a family advocate, and I come here in county. I went to their ISP meetings. I helped them set up case service plans. I helped them realize what has occurred in their case, how they've ended up in this predicament. Alabama is built on is a very strong faith in God and a faith in family and a unity in family. I lived here in Baldwin County, Manette. I got married right here in the Methodist Church. It was her first wedding in 20-some years. So I am very loyal to this county. And no citizen shall ever be unreasonably seized. And that's in our Constitution. Article things within our state constitution. These are things that our counties are built off of. And as a county, you know, you work great with the sheriff's departments, the police departments. These police departments are assisting DHR. And they go into homes without warrants and without proper due process. And these families, they see a law is not necessarily an excuse to the law, but if you're asleep and at 10 o'clock at night, you've just put the kid, and she says, I have to take your kids. She gives you no paperwork. Well, you see all these police there, you feel you have no choice but to turn over these children. And a lot of these are done without proper due process. On House Bill 6 back in 2023, which was a bill built for the fundamental rights of parents. It was built that Supreme Court, and by many of our Supreme Court, our appellate court, they have already upheld this, that we have the right to raise our children without statutes that the departments and the state has worked to lay out. And the due process of the families is most of the time, they don't call their mom, their aunt, their uncle, or anything as they should to look for a safety plan or an alternative, because the statute that was created by House Bill 6 was possible, and none of this is ever enforced. And I only approach you to say that as an advocate, working with a bunch of Baldwin, you know, as commissioners, you know, you can ask the police to make themselves more aware as to whether the department has proper signed. I know that they're supposed to be there to make sure that a parent don't act out or, you know, it don't turn violent, because no one should be attacking DHR workers, nor would I ever condone anything like that. But these parents are feeling bullied by the county's police forces when they get a knock on their door. People are afraid to answer their.
Thank you. And usually in these public comment sections, we just sit and listen. But I just wanted to make sure on this.
You can always emphasize.
With who?
Can I?
Yeah.
Say
I mean, I don't know who to
I don't want you to come here and think we don't care. We care. And sir, since you are an attorney, there is something called home rule and something called Dillon's rule. We're under Dillon's rule as county commissioners. You can look that up. Dillon's rule is what the legislature wants to give authority to the county commission. We don't have any authority except for when people contact us to our legislators, which are the ones who can they don't give us that authority in Alabama. So you need to, I mean, I've always called like Representative Givens, who is in my area, and said, can you please look into, this situation for DA? Because she holds an office in Central Annex where my office is, but I wish there was more that I could do than care, but the only really thing we can do, and you guys really need to keep reaching out to your legislators.
Well, and that's why last year we presented a bill, HB 340, which was a transparency, because we have beautiful laws already in place, but they're not being enforced. And actually, the retired sheriff from this county stood up and says, "Ability bill, children will die." But all we asked was that the laws that we have already created as a great state more efficiently, and there is less of an error rate of wrongful removals.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Jessica Saxton.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Saxton. I'm a civil rights advocate and litigator from Washington, D.C. I'm here to provide public notice. This is in accordance with USCS Rules of Civil Procedure, as well as Rule 17 and Rule 20 from the United States Supreme Court. It's fairly interesting that you had FBI agents, you had senators here, you had, I think, your state attorney general, who, for all of these people here that were able to track that mother and get the child back here into a supposed safe environment. But yet I have parents here, actually we have parents, nobody does anything about it. To answer one of your questions, you said, do we pay the police? The answer is no, you don't pay the police. Your city council pays the police, but you pay your sheriff. You don't pay the judges, you don't pay the guardian ad litems. Florida has a budget that pays their guardian ad litems. Maybe you guys don't do that here. I don't think you do, from what I can understand. You have a law enforcement officer that is going out at the call of DHR or DHS or whatever you guys call Child Protective Services here, and your sheriff's department is going out and assisting in the unlawful removal 242. When two or more people are conspiring to deprive those rights that are secured and protected by the Constitution, that is a deprivation against 18. In the event that kidnapping occurs, according to 18 U.S.C. 242, in the event that kidnapping occurs, there's 3 punishments. One is fines, one is prison, and continue to point fingers. Ma'am, you said this is the legislative branch, and you said that you refer people up to a higher legislative branch. You are a legislative branch.
We are not a legislative branch.
You are a legislative. An affidavit of criminal conspiracy is prima facie evidence of crimes that have been committed against the citizens of this county. Now, what you are to do at this point, after being served 18 U.S.C. 4, that is called misprision of felony, I would encourage you to go and read it. Now that you have been given this notice, you have to act lawfully, which means that you need to report this. As demonstrated earlier this morning, you know who the FBI agents are, so you can easily report these crimes. So you all are being served.
Brad, do you want these?
Say something. I get calls all the time from parents with DHR stuff, and I understand. And years ago, I can remember, with the commission, we had the person that was in charge at the time would actually work with the county commission. We talked to them, and we had a good working relationship. But things have changed and regulations, and they're sticking by what they say. I mean, they're not going to listen to us, none whatsoever. I have personally tried to. My business, but anyway, I feel your pain, because it is tragic. I've got some battle to get their cases taken care of. But like I say, I understand where you're coming from.
How is the county commission responsible for any judge's actions in that court?
It's not.
We're not?
No.
So it's another state agency?
No, they're
who's next? Let's see. Kristen, can you tell me who's next?
Harrison.
Harrison, yes, sir.
My name is Cody Harrison. I'm a civil rights advocate. USCS Rules of Civil Procedures, as well as Rule 17 and Rule 20 of the United States Supreme Court. The Constitution of the United States has the overarching substituted for the guarantees of the Constitution of the United States. That would mean that the state laws are more powerful than the Constitution. This is unlawful. Clause 1, crime unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury. However, the state of Alabama has enacted its own alternative legislation that permits prosecuting attorneys constitutional. An emolument violation is when you pay a public official to break the law. The Constitution has two areas that enforce this. Section 10 says, no state shall create any law that shall impair the obligation of contracts. Police officers, prosecutors, judges are all under a contract in the Constitution. Contract perimeters are defined within the Constitution of the United States, and when a state enacts an inferior law that directs the agents to disobey the Constitution, the 14th Amendment is the other place that you'll find the reinforcement of this issue, and that is where it states that no state shall create or enforce any. The privileges and immunities of United States citizens are at a minimum those enumerated within the Bill of Rights, the first 10 Amendment officers who you all pay to violate the Constitution of the United States. As a result, there is an inordinate prison in the state of Alabama, illegally and unconstitutionally. Tanawha Downing is litigating the issue. Officials must be made aware that paying people to disobey the law is an emolument violation. It is legal. At Clause 1 of Amendment 5, confirm what I'm saying to be true, and then direct your public officials to act in lawful, constitutional manner consistent in the Constitution of the United States of America. I have a notice that I would like to put on the record. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kristen Bankster.
Hey, my name is Kristen Bankster. I live in Stapleton, Alabama. My kids were taken by DHR off of they've asked me to do, and they're still trying to adopt my kids out. I've been fighting for 4 years trying to regain custody of my kids. I'm just wanting my kids and Judge Bosch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Norton Harrison. I live in Foley, Alabama. Like Kristen, I'm a mother who's fighting to bring my children home. They were wrongfully taken by DHR and was also bishop before that. Since that day, my life has been about proving that love, family, and second chances matter. I've been fighting to as a mother. I'm not here to argue or point fingers. I'm here to be a voice for every parent who's trying to do better and for every child who wants to go home. Families should. In my classes, counseling programs, I've showed that not only have I been sober, stable, I am the mother who can give my children the safe home that they deserve. Not just the paperwork, these are children who miss their mother. Separation of families is traumatic, not only for the family, but the children and the parents.
Thank you. So I guess that's all of our speakers that have signed up. Is there anybody else? All right. Is there members of the press here that have questions? No press questions? Okay. The attorney can. Yes, ma'am. Also, is there any commissioner comments?
I got to be careful what I say. My heart goes out to you. It really does. Going through. All right. I don't know the case. I can't get involved. We can't get involved into your cases. But my heart goes out to you. That's between you and the court system. Monday will be the Marine Corps birthday. I am a Marine veteran. And it'll be 250th. And then Veterans Day is Tuesday. You know, and if you're available this Friday, and I apologize, I don't know the time, but I was able, please come. I want to thank the Highway Department. If you're listening or watching, Mark, Frank, thank your team for doing the striping. So thank y'all. And to the commissioners, thank y'all. And to the staff, thank you again very much. And sacrifice and what you've done for this country.
Who's next?
I'll go ahead. Again, thank our staff that made their presentations. You know, we have hearts as well as everybody else does. And, you know, I think we try to do our very best that we can in some circumstances. And again, remember Memorial Day coming up for all the ones who served in the military. Let's honor those.
Commissioner Ball will go last. I just want to say that talking about constitutions here, the Alabama 1901 Constitution, us by the state, and sometimes it may seem frustrating, and it's frustrating on both ends. It's frustrating that people come to us thinking we can do stuff, and it's also frustrating think we can do, and it is not fair, in my opinion. Life sometimes not fair. We would all been different. Is that, you know what, we do a great job here, and I am proud to be in this position. Have to be handled through, but it is what it is. So I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here today, and the recent leadership on. I thought a couple more of y'all were heading that way, but I know your schedules didn't permit it. But it was a great opportunity to see how other people to a great place to live, and they have not lost the charm that they have. So it gives us an opportunity to not reinvent the wheel and save a little time and back here. And, you know, we have done something here with bringing Novellis here, which is the first leg of what the Greenville area did when they brought BMW. It was only supposed to be 500 employees, and I don't remember, a very small investment at that time, and they're now responsible for 11 million jobs and transformation, and how that area didn't allow the textile industry that moved out of this country to define them, and they didn't. And so with the vision of an outstanding mayor that has been there for 28 years, so you know what? That dispels the myth that anybody that thinks that people can't be effective and wonderful. White, I believe, but you know what? If you have an opportunity to visit Greenville, South Carolina, if you've already been, fantastic, but it is a great region and very conservative area of the country, and thank you.
All right, yeah, for the sake of time, I'm definitely not going to be long-winded. A great opening meeting for myself. Four of us that are running a pretty big thing up here, so it's always a privilege to get to work alongside you guys, and thank you for the morning for everybody, and thank you to all the staff who take the time to put this agenda together. This was a lengthy one, and I appreciate what Matt said earlier about Veterans Day coming up. You know, all of us will be pulled at different links of the county with different events. I encourage the public to pay respect to the men and women who serve our country or have served our country. So I know I'll be doing a lot here in Bay Minette. Commissioner Gruber always comes up here to Bay Minette at whatever's going on there and turn up and turn out for these veterans that'll be there. And I don't get a chance, I thank these two vets that sit up here for their service as well. Show or something, maybe we can put together what we did that one time, that the current employees that are veterans, you know, I may like to, we'll miss Veterans Day, but at least that are currently veterans